discussing on agenda number 1 up to agenda number 5. Agenda number 1 of His Excellency the Governor is on water, which we have tackled issues to do with the water in an inclusivity setup. Another agenda is agenda number 4, that is on health and sanitation, which we have already taken through, as well as agenda number 5, that is on education. And the driver of all this agenda is partnership and coordination, because it is an agenda that cuts across all the 9 points agenda of His Excellency the Governor Jeremiah Lomurkai. And that informed the placement of the Department of Partnership, because initially we had no partnership department, but recently it was in place, and that is why yesterday I said that the department is fully fledged, where we have the chief officer who is now the in charge of the department, and it is under the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning. Inside the department, we have also the directorates that are concerned or that play a role in resource mobilization. And it cuts across all the ministries. This is a department that works along with other ministries in order for all these agendas to be achieved, in order for the inclusivity that we are talking today here to be achieved or to be impacted to the people of Turkana County. And as partners, or as the Department of Partnership, as a government, we are committed to make sure that, or to direct our partners to where their need is realized, the needs of the people. We are there to advise the partners who are on board, other developmental actors, the private sectors, or the private investors, so that we all realize the inclusivity that we need to be impacted to our people, so that our people will get these effective, inclusive services which they need to have. Having said that, maybe we can now go straight to the presentation. Department of Partnership and Coordination. I'll start with the introduction. The Department of Partnership and Resource Mobilization maps and clusters and identifies gaps in all the departments of Turkana government for effective distribution of resources to the deserving areas in line with the 9-point agenda. So the department now maps all the partners who are in Turkana County and even other investors who would wish to work in Turkana County. We map them, we cluster them, so that we can identify the gaps in various ministries that are there, so that we can now identify where the gaps are in terms of the need that the people require. This department helps in advising the partners on areas of nexus with fellow donors, county, and the national government. We also partner with them, and the local organizations for effective and efficient use of available resources. What is the mission of the department? To strategically mobilize resources and cultivate inclusive partnership that strengthen donor coordination. So that is a mandate of the department, to mobilize these scarce resources, the diverse resources, so that we can bring together and see where are these resources needed, where do we need these resources. And Turkana County is one of the county which is blessed with a lot of resources, which as partners and the government, the county government, the national government, other developmental actors, as well as our partners, we need to harness, we need to tap these resources for the benefit of the Turkana people, including the host and the refugee communities. What is the vision? To be a transformative catalyst to sustainable development in Turkana County by fostering strategic partnership. So transformation, we need to transform our county. We need to transform our people so that they can also realize these services that they need. Today we focus also on how of the Shirika plan. Policy tell us what to do and why. Our focus as the partnership and coordination department is on how. That is where we come in, the how. How we bring diverse, the scarce resources or actors together to translate the Refugee Act of 2021 and the Shirika plan into a coordinated reality on the ground. And this coordinated reality will be realized by what? Will be realized by strong coordination, strong collaboration between all these actors that are geared to achieving or impactful services to the people of Turkana County, including the host and the refugee communities. Inclusive access to water, health, and education cannot be achieved in silos. And that is why yesterday I said that we need to move away from doing things in silos. We need to have what we call a fundamental shift in thinking, in making sure or making things or doing things in silos. We need to integrate. We need to come together as partners so that we can focus. We have a vision of making sure that there is inclusivity in all the areas for the people of Turkana County to realize this success. So we need not to work in silos. It requires a deliberate and structured approach to partnership that leverages the unique mandate and capacities of national government, county government, UN agencies, implementing partners, and other, and most importantly, refugee-led organizations and host community structures. And again, we can achieve this through coming together, through integration. We integrate the little resources that we have. We plan as one. We need to use the one Bible, the Bible, in planning this. And the Bible, I mean, that the Bible in quotes, I mean the CIDP. We need to plan as one using the CIDP. From our perspective, effective partnerships are the operational engine of this coordination. That is why I started by saying that the driver of all the 9 points agenda of His Excellency the Governor Jeremiah is partnership, the coordination. we need to coordinate all these sectors. And the partners are in, and also other actors, that is the stakeholders, are included. So partnership is an engine connecting all these engagements, connecting all the implementation of the 9-point agenda in the county. So that is why partnership as a department is key in any engagement, in all the engagements as far as the government of Turkana is concerned, plus the actors who are in Turkana County. And I said that, I had said that Turkana County is one of the county in Kenya that is recorded of having so many partners. And what should we do? What are we doing? How are we partnering? How are we making sure that the people of Turkana County, the host and the refugees, get these resources equitably? Inclusivity. How are we making sure inclusivity is enhanced or is embraced? It is through partnership, but not in silos. The transition from policy to practice, which is now our theme for today, often stumbles on issues of role, clarity, and sustainability. The partnership department is committed to facilitating a shared understanding of who does what, who is here, who is in the infrastructure, who is in the health, who is in the water, who is in education. So we need a coordination, a coordinated institution, a coordinated hand in making sure that all these implementations geared to the achieving of the results. And the achieving of the results is translated now to the impactful engagements to the host and the refugee community. So we are working to formalize partnership through agreements, and soon we will also launch the policy which we came up with for coordination. Through the agreements that clearly outline contributions to shared water schemes and health facilities, ensuring that the infrastructure we build today is sustainably managed by the county systems tomorrow with the support of all the stakeholders. And that is outlined in the Shirika plan. Now, true inclusion. True inclusion means accountability to the people we serve. How are we accountable to the people we serve? The county government, the partners, other actors, the investors. How are they accountable to the people that we serve? How can we hold you responsible for whatever you do? It is through this partnership. It is through coordination that we will know that partner A is doing this. Partner B is engaged in Kalobeye or is engaged in Towokayeni or in all these areas. So we need also to know. And that is why information sharing is always key, or communication is always key for the coordination aspect to be in place. So we are prioritizing the strengthening of this local partnership because they are the key to ensuring that services are accessible to women, persons with disabilities, and youth. And that is now the inclusivity part of it. And that feedback mechanisms are truly responsive. Education is the ultimate bridge, because it was also one of our concerns that we discussed. Education is the ultimate bridge between humanitarian aid and the long-term development. The partnership department is actively working to bring together humanitarian partners like LWF, JRS, and NRC with the development actors, specifically the county government and the Ministry of Education. And that is why even today, we took a lot of time with a lot of concerns in education, the classroom, the large classrooms, the infrastructure, not only in the camps, but also in the host community. So it is also our concern to see that this inclusivity is enhanced, both for the host community and the refugee community, so that they can access these services equitably. For us, not only to do all our engagements in the camps or all our engagements in the host communities, while other side is suffering. Now, the Office of the County Attorney inputs on policy alignment is critical. Our role is to then translate that legal and policy framework into actionable memoranda of understanding. And that is what our office does in making sure that this memoranda of association is brought on board, is signed by the partners, plus the county government, so that our engagements or our implementation will be enhanced through a legal or a policy agreement that is in place, so that we cannot operate without these policies. We need to operate with the policies, so that when any partner comes to the county, we need to put you on board. We need to have an MOU with you so that we know your scope of engagement. We are focused on building the capacity of county education departments to plan for and manage inclusive schools with the partners playing a supportive, not substitutive roles. This is how we make the Shirika plan's vision a sustainable reality. So that is all about the Shirika plan, and the county government of Turkana is in place to implement the Shirika plan for the benefit of the Turkana community. Now, as you can see, the coordination now between health, education, and water. For example, a child cannot even learn when he or she maybe has a waterborne disease, or even a girl may drop out of school if she spends hours fetching water. So our partnership framework must therefore be cross-sectoral. As we discuss scalable solutions for education, we must link them back to the water and health discussions, of which we had engaged since yesterday up to today. And the partnership department is uniquely placed to facilitate these connections. So it is the same department of partnership that connects or that brings together these engagements between the partner, education, health, or even water. And not only those that we discussed here, but also other departments which have not been discussed here, like now the food security, trade, roads, and livestock, and other departments or other ministries which have not been mentioned here. So the Partnership Directorate is uniquely placed to facilitate these connections, ensuring that a partner working on school infrastructure is coordinated with those drilling boreholes or running health clinics in the same community. So we coordinate them. This integration approach is the cornerstone of building resilience communities. We are building database for the same. Now, as I conclude, I urge all our partners, as well as other actors, the success of this fireside discussion that we had will be measured not by the conversation we held, but by the strength of the partnership. If the partnership is there, if we strengthen the arm of the partnership or this department, we will build and coordinated action that follows. We will build the strong collaboration in this county. And when the collaboration will be there, our people will get these services. There will be a positive impact in terms of service delivery to the people of Turkana County. So as a department, we are ready to play our part in driving these agendas forward. And for that, I say thank you, and that is the end of my presentation. And together, we will succeed. Teamwork always is an icon of success. When we team up, when we partner, when we integrate, when we collaborate, we will get the results. And that is our mandate. We co-create, co-creation. Thank you and be blessed.
Clap for her once more. Thank you so much, Madam CEO. We are nearing the end of our program. And for this session, I want us to engage and finish off what we started in our technical presentation and the fireside sessions. So here I'd like to request my colleague Sifuna to come and proceed with this session. We'll be doing recommendations and way forward. So how we'll control this, we can start with what we talked about on water. We do the recommendations, we do the way forward on the discussions that we had, and then we go to health and finish off with education. So as we give our recommendations, she will note it at the far end on the flip chart, so that once we retire on these sessions, we'll be going to reflect on them. So we can start with water.
The duty bearer is. When you're giving the recommendation, like for example, oh, maybe water should be increased in schools, just like an example. Who do you think is going to increase this water in schools? So that we ensure that as you're making recommendations, they are very actionable. Try to think about it. Who is the duty bearer and who is the beneficiary? Tuko pamoja? Haya. So maybe we can start with the water sector. Any recommendations for the challenges that we've been able to raise?
My names are Rafael Ngilimo, Deputy Sub-County Water Officer, Turkana West. On the side of water, we want to increase the number of boreholes that within the Turkana East, Turkana West, that now the water table. Now we have community crisis. So the balls or the number of water supplies that we have in Turkana West, I think it's now especially on the side of Lokipoto. There's a sub-county and wards here, Letia Ward. We have a few balls that need to be renovated or to be repaired, and to increase the number of balls that also live in our community, especially the West community. There are also livestock, people that are migrating from one place to another looking for grand pasture. They need additional balls. Another ward like Lopuri ward also requires additional balls because it's a large also bordering Turkana North and also Turkana West. So some people are, especially the last people that are living within Turkana West, especially on the side of Lap, they are required their balls. That's why this week I was there with the ADRA. We also identified the site of Lap, where people are drinking the water from the lager. And so we consider they need the balls to be drilled. Another side is that it requires the municipality of KAKUMA as large, it requires also some additional balls. So the number of community within the municipality, they are growing, the municipality is growing. So they need some balls to be additionals, especially even the refugee. They are now dealing with they are also, it has to be given additional balls, especially because some are dealing with farming. So they need additional balls so that they may be able to achieve these areas of farming, because they will now, as we talk Shirika plan, that wajitegeme. So they will be reliable on those balls if they are getting more water to do irrigation on that side of highlands and that area also of Kalobeye. They require additional balls to be added. So another what's information that can be shared, issue of vandalism should be priority to be given, priority to be taken care of. Because if you cannot use our balls carefully and repair and make sustainable, it is also useless to dig a lot of balls and we are not using and we are not carrying the existing balls that are within the sub-counties. So the vandalization of balls should be taken care of, because the policy should be also introduced so that our brothers to know that vandalism of their balls, and they need also some water. And we have now the shortage of balls, shortage of water, and they need some balls to be drilled. It is not very good if you will drill 1,000 of balls and you don't use also taking care of the existing one to be repaired, to be once. So it is not very good for such an institution to be done. So I recommend that, so the existing ball should be taken care of, should not be vandalism, and the policy, if you are found that you are doing the wrong to that soil or you are vandalizing, you should be arrested. You should be arrested. If the police is giving kitu kidogo, that's not the way to go. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe before we go on, you've mentioned renovation of boreholes and additional boreholes. Whose duty is it to ensure that there are boreholes in a place? So that we are not just saying, floating. whose responsibility is it to ensure that there are boreholes in a place? And whose responsibility is it to make sure that boreholes are renovated? Additionally, when it comes to vandalism, when someone vandalizes pipes, who is in charge of making sure that this person is brought to book? And yes, let's answer those ones first, as short as possible, so that the next person, as you're giving recommendations also, try to think about it. Who exactly should these petitions be falling for? Or which door should we knock at for us to get answers on these recommendations that you are giving, so that they are fully fledged?
Just a moment, before we proceed. I'd suggest that when we are giving these points, let's just have a way forward and recommendation without giving examples, because we are also short on time. So you take only a minimum minute, 1 minute.
Thanks again. I think the issues of repair, it is we as a county government, sub-county water officers here, Turkana West, we normally, that's our responsibility to repair the ball which are existing, especially on outside county, outside the municipality, especially outside the municipality. But within the municipality, we have Kalawasco, which are caring of taking care of our balls. So it may be able to come in for repair and ensure that it is a sustainable for them. They are now working out on revenue collections.
Yes, on the behalf of recommendation based on water, I'm Andrea Mbunyawan, the youth leader. What I can give as a recommendation is borehole operators to make a good use of time, especially in the refugee community, where sometimes water can come to the community at the night time instead of the daytime. So time management, or the right time where the water should be operating to the community, should be specific. Another thing is the whole pipeline. So the whole pipeline should be at least be changed, and more especially the hotspot places like Puji, where they used to make a vandalism most of the time, should at least be changed from a plastic pipe to a metallic, if possible.
Again, no examples, please.
I would wish to recommend quickly strong committees. I think there's something that somebody had said earlier on, that maybe all water companies should come up with uniform TORs for committees that are going to be managing respective boreholes. I hope that's clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My recommendation is that there should be a KAKUMA municipality water master plan in place. And I believe this is important because it will bring a whole overhaul in terms of mapping, identifying where the water sources are coming from, connectivity in terms of piping. Yeah. And then another recommendation would be capacity building of Kalawasco. Yeah, so that they can be able to take up their roles effectively. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. This is Stephen from Israel, Watch Manager. I think one of the recommendations concerning that has been made concerning strengthening the water management committee, mine is really to see to it that these water management committees have an oversight, and that can be done by either Kalwasco or the sub-county water committee, sub-county water team, so that at least we have somebody who knows what each water management committee is doing, rather than we are setting up, we are training them, then we leave them to handle such massive infrastructure, which at the end of the day, it ends up not really supporting the community in terms of water access.
I wanted just what my colleague has just mentioned. I think there's need for us to build durable solutions by by investing on sustainable infrastructure. There's a need for us, we move from emergency response to durable water bodies. Then, for the water officer was just mentioning on vandalism. Once we strengthen community participation, involving community on all perspectives, in the planning, in the management, and the monitoring of these water bodies, I think we'll be able to unleash our potentials.
Thank you. Any additional inputs?
Yeah, I think some have already been mentioned, but I want to agree with Madam Attorney about strengthening the capacities of water committees. This is a responsibility of the sub-county, that is including Kalwasco, and then conducting joint spot checks in water services delivery points to make sure that they are functional. This is again a responsibility of Kalwasco, that is a water utility. And then conducting quarterly data checks, quarterly checks on water quality. Water quality means that to see whether water is safe, and then providing technical support and job training to stakeholders in the water sector. This is a combined effort.
Anyone else? Okay, once again, is Bona Joseph, working for Kalobey Integrated Youth Progress. One of my recommendations, I just, on water, we want to do what is called awareness and sensitization in the community on the importance of water management and conservation. Another thing also, we want also to promote rainwater harvest, since we understand that maybe today the water will be there and maybe in some other time there will be no water. And in the case of awareness, people who are responsible are RLOs, NGOs, including also the government, as well as the community leaders and religious leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think we close it there for water. We close it there for water. We now go to health. Briefly on health.
Good afternoon and thank you. For health, number one is to increase limited human resource. What I will recommend is to leverage on the SHA, the Social Health Authority, by ensuring that refugees have refugee identity cards, and also host community have national identity, Kenyan national identity cards, so that they can benefit under SHA and in the end increase financing for health, so that we can buy commodities and then employ people. So for sensitization, Kenya Red Cross, IRC, the county government will be focal people for sensitization that people register under SHA. And then for advocacy, we have partners like RCK can lead, but also other partners can sensitize because they know importance of registration under SHA. And then the government under DRS take leads in ensuring that we have identities and being supported by UNHCR. Number two, protecting health sector due to limited financing options, but also due to the public health risks. Now that we have influx of refugees in this part of Turkana, and also we have outbreaks normally starts from here. So what I can say as a recommendation there is to leverage on the government at the government Turkana government to invest in vibrant disaster management fund. UNHCR also, but also Kenya Red Cross, we are big on disaster risk reduction. So those are the focal organizations that can take lead, but also we can be assisted on legal front by RCK. And then number 3, targeted coordination to harness benefits of the grassroots organization like the RLOs and CBOs. And so targeted coordination can be the government can take lead, and then government and UNHCR can take lead, and also the partners to support so that we are well coordinated, so that we don't do duplication. We offer services in a good way. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I only have one, and it's short and sweet. It's accessible infrastructures. Responsible National Construction Authority with good support from the ministries, including MOH. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have 2 or 3 points to put across. One, we need to have a joint monitoring of health facilities and water points, both by the water department and the Minister of Health. The second one, we should have capacity building for health and water department staff, so that that will take place also with the 2 departments, the water department and the health department. Then we should have, I'll emphasize what my brother said, the municipality plus the public health should take initiative to make it clear disability-friendly health facility construction, where we have ramps and accessible sanitation for both women, children, and old age. Thank you.
Mine is more of a recommendation, because human health cannot be protected without protecting the animal health. I think there's need for us we embrace the One Health approach as one of the practical decision-making strategy when we want to arrive to a co-implementation strategy. Then second, the chief officer was mentioning something on partnership. And so yesterday, I really emphasized on building partnership for resilience growth. For us to attain this, or the system-focused approach, we need to embrace the partnership for resilience growth.
Any other stakeholder? I think we covered on all health. Who is missing out? Okay. 1 minute.
With me also, I have, since we understand, most of the time we have a problem with the ladies maybe around the camp. And one of my recommendations, we want also to improve comprehensive sexual reproductive health and right education, as well as MHM, which is a menstrual hygiene management.
Thank you. Ni kama tulikuwa tumesahau what we discussed yesterday, but for today,
here, who will take lead? It can be the, like Kenya Red Cross, who are dealing with the, also SRH, and also it can be RLOs like us who are dealing also with sexual reproductive health and right in terms of training and also awareness in the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We close on health. Let's now go to education. What we had today.
Niko karibu. Thank you. For education, we target investing in girls' education to address WASH, health, and education issues together, and also to build sustainable services. So we can, who will take lead? Partners in education, and partners in WASH, and partners who are partners in WASH, education, and health can be coordinated by the government departments, and then also at the UNHCR, so that we harness the benefits of educating a girl and building sustainable communities.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. For me, I would say or request RCK to take lead in addressing legal issues around registration of schools and registration of teachers, because as education partners we have done a lot, but we are still facing legal issues around registration of schools into public schools. Secondly, regarding the issue of languages, acquisition of language by the community or the refugee, I would request my partners from, or my colleague from the partner world, we focus more on deliberate remedial around the two subjects, English and Kiswahili. Either we take one or we divide, but as the CEC has said, we have a coordinated activity. And finally, on issues affecting girls and women in the community, we also have partners taking lead with deliberate targeted intervention around girls, but in a very coordinated way to avoid duplication. Thank you.
Any other?
On education, here also I see RLOs, they can take part in ensuring that the refugee learners with a disability, they are not left behind, and they can do this through the advocacy, community engagement, through teacher support and inclusive efforts. Thank you.
Wacha ni force moja ya mwisho.
I think for me, I have two recommendations. One, in terms of advocacy on the need to have either a guideline or a policy that targets overage learners, especially those ones who are not necessarily to be able to go through grade 3. Based on where they're coming from or their country of origin, they might have a past grade 3. So instead of being forced into grade 3, the policy or the guidelines should allow them to go to grade 4 and so forth. That's one of the areas that we could look into, the advocacy in terms of the education policy, how that will be also target specifically the refugee. The other thing is about the advocacy on issues of legal documentation, especially the birth certificate. And I know this is an area that we've collaborated with RCK. And I know now we are having conversation with also Israel Aid, UNHCR. This is one of the critical area that will benefit not only the refugee learners, but we are also looking at the host community, because as I had mentioned, most of the host community do not have birth certificate, yet it's a critical document that impact on capitations in school. So those are two of my recommendations that I think collectively with the partners that are around the Ministry of Education, education partners, the support of UNHCR and other INGOs and NGOs, we could take forward in the conversation. Thank you.
One minute each.
When looking at education as a pathway to self-reliance and stability, we should also look at simplifying the procedures for obtaining documents like work permits to ensure smooth transition from education to the labor markets. So it's an element of documentation for refugees. Or there's also an aspect of sensitization for the private sector on hiring refugees, especially on sensitizing or creating awareness on the documentation that is required for refugees. Thank you.
I want to put one of the recommendations to, I think especially to the Ministry of Education, that's National TAC. There's need you strengthen the quality of learning. There's need for, it's time for you people to shift your focus from enrollment to the learning outcomes. And maybe from my side, that's the Turkana County government. I think the school feeding, the ECD, unaona chakula ni kidogo and the enrollment iko mingi. Can you just do some adjustments where possible so that tuongeze kidogo na wanafunzi wawe mengi? Thank you.
Thank you. Can we take one more?
Another thing that also I can say it is through partnerships with NGOs and the government as stakeholders, need also to ensure that infrastructure includes disability friendly.
I think we close it there. Any other additional input or way forward, you can just write it down and hand it over to the coordinator.
Okay, thank you for being quite the think tank for the solutions. As we said, the problems that we have, we're the ones who have the solutions, yeah? So for the problems we raised in the water sector, the recommendations given are as follows: that the existing boreholes should be repaired or renovated, and additional boreholes to be dug in select areas. And then curbing of vandalism should be prioritized to maintain the integrity of the current assets we have. Next, water collection or operation of the water facilities should be considered in convenient times. Like for example, water points should not be opened late in the night. Next, the plastic piping. A recommendation for the plastic piping to be switched to metallic piping. This is for sustainability in the long run. Next, we have the recommendation to have uniform terms of references or terms of engagement for the committees that are managing the boreholes. And additionally, the committees should have a general oversight by the sub-county. Next, the KAKUMA municipality water master plan is to be developed and also operationalized. That is as a matter of priority. Next, we have the need to strengthen the capacity of Kalwasco, especially during this transition, so that it's able to ensure access to water happens. Next, we have the involvement of the community is to be strengthened so that ownership and accountability also belongs to the community. Lastly, monitoring and evaluation of the water facilities and the water quality should be done intermittently or periodically to ensure quality assurance. And lastly, there's the promotion of water harvesting. Yes, and under the health sector, the recommendations were that access to refugee IDs or documentation should be improved so that people have access to SHA. Additionally, advocacy and community awareness should be strengthened for behavioral change on the same. The Turkana County government is to invest in a disaster management fund. That's a recommendation. Next, there needs to be targeted coordination that is led by the government and supported by all the partners and everyone in the water sector. Next, there is the need to ensure that all the health structures are accessible for persons with disability. And there needs to be joint monitoring of the water and health facilities because of how closely linked they are. So missions for monitoring and evaluation need to be joint. Lastly, the institutions for health need to be friendly to persons with disability in terms of access. Lastly, in the education sector, the recommendations given were that the county and basically the stakeholders need to invest in girls, and especially in terms of increasing awareness or education on mental health management and sexual and reproductive health rights. Next, there's a recommendation to RCK to step in terms of the legal process for registration of schools and teachers, just to fill in the gap that exists. Next, we have language remedial classes should be increased to bridge the language gap that exists between maybe the teachers and the learners. Next, RLOs are to complement the education interventions that are being proposed. So even at the grassroots level, we should be having the RLOs and CBOs and women-led organizations coming at the forefront to complement the interventions. Next, there needs to be a guideline or policy on recognition of prior learning and alternative to the assessment that is currently done in grade 3. So advocacy for a different way of assessment so that the older children or older people who are still interested in learning are not forced to go all the way back to grade 3 in order to be integrated into the education system.
She'll then be followed by our Director of Programs.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's been like a full 2 days. We talked a lot, we discussed a lot, and I think for me, I want to say thank you to RCK and all the partners who have accepted the call to join this wonderful 2 days event. And for me, it really matters because it's not all the time that you see that partners, stakeholders, and community members are brought together. Even though it happened, but then there is some limitation. But
what's happened most of the RCK has to actually now move to the next step of sitting down and ask ourselves, how do we make this a reality, the commitment that we've said or the mandate that is with us. Let us ensure that the integrated approach we've envisioned here becomes our blueprint.
Is that we will be committed because issues of water, health, and education is, as I'd said in my opening remarks, is what do you call? We call it part of the key, items in His Excellency's the Governor's 9-point agendas. So whatever informations we've had here, I'll definitely be able to return back and share with him. And, with my other colleagues, even at the cabinet, whatever resolutions that we are supposed to be doing as a county government, you'll be sure that we will be able to follow up and ensure that we actualize it. As a county government also, especially from the legal side, we try to ensure that we provide, a conducive legal environment for most of these things to, be given properly. Otherwise, mine would be say to thank you all again because much has been said by the rest, and hope to meet you again soon. Let's action on the action points, and let's also follow up and ensure that everything has been done. Asanteni na safari njema mkirudi.
Let's now have the remarks or closing remarks from the Deputy CAP Manager. Once we close, we can pass by and take some tea. Today I did not buy you pizza.
So thank you once again and good afternoon. We've come to the end of the session, and I feel very much honored to be making the closing remarks and declare the session officially closed. However, before I come to that, I wish to make a few remarks and the health sector. All these mean nothing if they are not going to be followed up. Okay? So they remain key, but they have to be actualized. I know it's a hot afternoon. I don't need to speak too much. So having said all that, and having been given that authority to officially close this session, let me now take this opportunity to declare this session officially closed.